So I'm very excited to, for some of you, introduce you. For those of you who have not been under a rock, you know who Rachel Hollis is. 2 times she has written and sold a runaway bestseller, New York Times bestselling books, Girl, Wash Your Face, a cultural phenomenon, and then on the heels of that, Girl, Stop Apologizing. She is a entrepreneur. She and her husband Dave run Hollis Co. out of Austin, Texas, the #1 job market in the country before the virus hit. Number 2 is Nashville. She's a friend. She is a force of nature, and she's in the middle of this deal right now with a company of, I believe, 60 people. And texted her the other day, and I said, you know what? I want to have you on the program because I want people to hear from you in times of uncertainty. I want you folks to hear from different voices, and I'm blessed to be able to bring you different voices. So she joins me in Austin. Rachel, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, how are you doing, brother?
I'm living the dream still, you know.
Good.
You know, it's a little different, but, you know, as I've been telling folks, just because this massive uncertainty has hit us, an unprecedented time in history, one thing doesn't change, and that's that we were all created to do something, and our purpose hasn't evaporated. And
absolutely.
And I know you feel that. So give us a snapshot real quick, what you're facing as the founder, CEO of Hollis Co. I know you got your team is dispersed. The separation's happening, and you're still running a company, still helping people. What's it look like for you?
Well, about 2.5 weeks ago, we saw the direction that things were going and made the decision to go virtual, which we have never done before. And honestly, you know, was scary. I posted a video online. I was crying, not out of fear, but we are similar to the Ramsey company in that we love coming to work. Yeah. We have the best team that there is, and a huge part of the joy in my life is getting to see these people every day. And so I was just sad that was going to look a little different. But we immediately hit the ground running and figured out what it looked like to have a team on a computer. And we've been doing a lot of Zoom calls, I'm sure like a lot of your listeners, and doing a lot of things virtually to make sure that we can keep that touch point. But I think, you know, for anybody who's listening, who's an entrepreneur, small, medium-sized business owner right now, you don't have time to hesitate. There isn't time to sort of cry or feel upset. You've got to be strong, and you've got to have courage, and you've got to make decisions to make sure that you can take care of these people who are your responsibility. So that's the world that I find myself in right now.
So I want to ask you this. You're in the very same business as Ramsey Solutions. If we were to distill it down, it's in the business of hope and giving people hope that they can be and do what they were created to do. And I'm interested to know how you, the person, you know, here you are, the author, you got these giant international events, a podcast that's, you know, massive audience, and you've got all this uncertainty as the individual, yet as the leader of the company and then the face of the brand. What have you done to keep being positive right now and keep injecting hope into your audience?
So one of our core company values is we choose joy. We believe that that's a decision that you can make. And so we're making that as a company, we're making it as individuals. And when I find myself having moments of uncertainty, I've for sure cried about this. I've definitely felt stress. I literally force myself to snap out of it. And that looks like practically like, okay, I'm going to pray. It looks like I'm going to put on some music and I'm going to dance. I'm a runner. I know you're a runner too, Ken. Like I'm going to go out on the roads and run in the sunshine because the roads at least are not closed right now. So just actually taking steps to keep in the mindset that I'm striving for, because not only do I have this team at work, but I have 4 babies here at home who are counting on me to be a strong mama. And so it looks like every single day, sometimes by the minute, staying in the positive mindset that I'm hoping for. I was watching, I don't know if you've been watching, John Maxwell's been doing this series every day where he's gone live and he's teaching. Super fantastic if listeners haven't checked it out. But he said this thing on Saturday or Sunday on his live that I have not stopped thinking about, which is crisis reveals what was already in us. Crisis reveals what is already in us. And I keep thinking about this idea of the leadership was already there. The courage was already there. The bravery was already there for people who are listening, for, whether you're a doctor in a hospital or you're, a checkout person at the local grocery store, which right now is a hero of mine. The courage was already in you, and the crisis gives us an opportunity. Yes, bad things happen in a crisis, but also the best and most beautiful parts of humanity bloom and flourish in times of hardship. And so I'm just clinging to this belief that goodness will come out of this situation. And I know I sound a bit like Pollyanna, but what is the alternative?
Yeah.
The alternative is drowning inside of fear or being paralyzed by not knowing what to do. So instead, I'm going to find the blessing in this season, and I'm going to cling to that every single day and rest on the fact that we're all going to come out of this a better version than we went in, because the beauty in slowing down is that we find parts of ourselves I think we've lost in the flurry of trying to accomplish so much.
She is Rachel Hollis, the best-selling author of Girl Wash Your Face, Girl Stop Apologizing, the CEO, the head and the heart behind Hollis Co. Rachel, I think there's so many people who are going, man, things were just fantastic. I had launched my thing, right? I had just gotten this gig, and I just decided to do this, and I was going to go be that. And then all of a sudden, bam, the whole world just kind of got stopped, and I didn't have anything to do with it. And that's a very bewildering, kind of confusing moment for people. And yet this is a temporary thing. What would you say to the folks who they got their dreams paused for them right now? It's not done, it's not over, but there is a pause. What would you say to them?
Well, the first I think is that you have to honor those feelings. You have to honor those feelings. My husband just came out with his first book last week, and he was so excited to go on his first book tour. And he is a grown man, 45 years old, and he would not mind me telling you that he cried like a baby. Sure. He was so disappointed that he didn't get to have this opportunity. But I think it's exactly what you said, Ken. It's a pause. It's not a forever. It's a moment in time. And I was like, man, cry it out. Like, allow yourself to feel disappointed, because that's real. And you kind of shoving those feelings down won't serve you. Yeah. But then the flip side of this, and I think this is really important, to me, this is about identity. There's something about our accomplishments or our job title that so many of us wrap our identity inside of. And this is really showing us how much weight we've given to those things. Who you are is not your job title. It's not the project. It's not the gig. It's not the opportunity. Who you are those core values, those deeply held beliefs that will remain true no matter what else is stripped away. And I hope that this season gives us an opportunity to get back to what really truly matters and what are those core elements that make us who we are, because that's not something that any job, any company, any economy, any pandemic can take away. That is our God-given essence. That is who we really are. And if we cling to that, then we know the truth.
So good. So true. What are you excited about? Because we got about a minute, and I want to give you a moment to project true positivity, not Pollyanna positivity. By the way, you weren't being that. I think that was what we needed to hear. but now you've had to pause. So we got 45 seconds. What are you looking forward to when this thing is done? The Black Plague brought around the Renaissance. Yeah. Usually in times of hardship, I know you're a history buff like I am, but in times of hardship in history, the most beautiful art, the most incredible businesses are born out of those places. And so I promise it is true. If you go back and look at it time and time and time again, good things will arise from this soil. Things will grow up and things will blossom, and that is just true. That is factual. So what does it look like for listeners to be strong and to keep showing up and to fight to thrive in this season, not just survive, so that when we come into this beautiful new world, we have the opportunity to grow even bigger. She's the best. She's Rachel Hollis. Follow her. This is the Ken Coleman Show.